or to say, hey, I need some help with something. You're not saying we're not going to make it. You're saying, can you guys help me? Can you help me a little bit? When they show up and serve, then it does really good things.
Yeah, reasonable levels. Yeah. That makes sense.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. Emily, what are we talking about today?
We have a question today.
Okay, let's dive in.
You talk a lot about the need for teams to be vulnerable with each other and communication in healthy ways.
Yes.
And communicate in healthy ways. How do I get my team to do that? We've done training, but they can't seem to embrace it.
They can't seem to embrace this wildly uncomfortable thing. I wonder
Yeah,
why.
this might be like a long-term thing. Like it's kind of a temporary.
It's going to be a long-term thing,
long-term.
but I think the answer is going to be super simple. This will be a very short episode. The reality is, if you want your people to do anything, go first. Model it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we are designed as human beings psychologically to follow and mirror what our leaders do. If you want them to be vulnerable, be vulnerable. We can't be sitting over here as leaders going, I've got it all figured out. I feel no pain. I'm perfect, and expect our people to do anything but the same.
Yeah.
They're going to do exactly that.
Yes.
But to show vulnerability, to lead the way and say, here's a way that I'm struggling, or here's something I'm wrestling with. Here's where I need help. That's what it's all about, is deploying that and leading in that way. And it's not the easiest thing to do. It's terrifying for us, just like it is for them. That's what leadership is, though.
Yeah. I think it's really easy to just kind of match the vibe of whatever's happening.
Yeah.
And if you set the culture of we're all good, let's just, put on a happy face.
You're
and
good.
just
I'm
do
good.
it.
We're all good.
And everyone's going, okay, we are good. Like, I'm not good. You're not good. We can all see that, but, we're not saying things honestly. And so, yeah.
And when we lead with that vulnerability, we say, I need help. What that does is allow somebody to show up and serve, and they see, oh, somebody was vulnerable. Nothing bad happened. In fact, good things happened. It starts to release oxytocin in our system, because when we show up and we show vulnerability and somebody serves us, we begin to trust.
Yeah, healthy vulnerability.
That starts to get deeper. You have really healthy vulnerability. Again, we almost always have to point back. We should really turn that page into a PDF and make it available for people, because we talk about different levels of vulnerability. When we say lead the way, what we're not saying is, as a leader, sitting down at the table and just breaking down, just losing it and being like, everything's a disaster. I don't know how we're going to survive. It's all bad. Like, that's not vulnerability.
A pool of tears is not what we're shooting for.
No. But to say, here's something I'm kind of wrestling through, or here's something I have wrestled through in the past, and give real detailed description of what you've wrestled through in the past, what you've overcome already. That really is healthy vulnerability. Or to say, hey, I need some help with something. You're not saying we're not going to make it. You're saying, can you guys help me? Can you help me a little bit? When they show up and serve, then it does really good things.
Yeah, reasonable levels. Yeah. That makes sense.
I think we think about sometimes leadership, and we think about, I'm going to be the first one through that gate. Like, we think of it in military terms, right? When you think about them charging into battle, there's always that leader at the front, right?
Right.
There's this moment in Avengers Infinity War, which is like one of my favorite moments in the entire film series.
Yeah.
Where there's these two armies coming to fight, and there's Captain America and Black Panther, and of course they're superhuman. They run faster than everybody else. So you got all these regular people just running, doing the best they can. John, please don't clip me doing that and share it anywhere else, please. Don't make that the highlight for this episode. They're sitting there running as fast as they can, and then these two guys just out in front, right? We think that that's always what leadership is. And we think it's this heroic and this loud and this, oh, look at those two, they got it. And we do love that. But it's like leading the way in a very quiet way.
Sometimes it's more like the screaming goats.
I forgot about the screaming goats, right? That's fair. That is very fair.
Some days.
Some days it does.
Maybe
feel
that's
like
an
that.
example of like unhealthy vulnerability.
That is an example of unhealthy vulnerability. But it's really, when we think of that heroic look at it, it's really a lot more quiet. It's the ability to simply raise your hand and say, I don't know, or I need help. And it's such a simple act, but that's how we get our people to open up. Yeah. It really is that simple. And it's not, we're going to open up and they're instantly going to share everything. we're going to open up to teach them it's okay. And in teaching, it takes time. It takes patience.
Yeah. We've talked about creating culture before. And that's very much what that is. It's just paving that road. Yep.
And it's saying, hey, we're going to go down this road and we're going to do this. And you're going to find out it's okay. The goal is not that you're good at it tomorrow. It's that you're good at it a year from now. That's what we're after.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Leaders, let's talk next steps. If you're struggling to get your team to embrace vulnerability in a healthy way, lead the way. Go first. Be vulnerable. Run out in front of everybody else. But that running out in front of everybody else is not a physical thing. It's not I'm going to go fight this battle. It's, I'm going to open up and say, I don't have it all figured out. I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to say, I'm wrestling just like you are. I'm human just like you are. You would be shocked how that simple act begins to open up the ability to be vulnerable for the entire team. Once we're vulnerable, we can begin to trust. We can start to build that pyramid, start to move towards that pyramid of success where I think it's the 5 dysfunctions of a team. He's got results at the top. The very bottom is trust, and that starts with that vulnerability.
Yep.
So we've got to start by building that, start by leading the way. If people want to send us questions just like this, where do they send them to?
lab@forwardpartners.net.
lab@forwardpartners.net. If they want to find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, where we're creating content all the time about leadership just for them, where do they find us?
@forwardpartner.
@forwardpartner on all those platforms. Emily, thank you for doing this. Thank you for hosting the podcast together. John, thank you for producing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please share this with somebody else that's a leader. That would mean the world to us and probably the world to them. We'll see you next time right here in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.